Welcome to the Nerd Lag Game Club podcast, a video game podcast where we all play the same game and then we talk about it. I'm Corey, and I'm joined by four party members today: Lauren,
Hey.
Tunza,
What's up?
Danboy,
Yo.
and Hipker.
Hey.
In this episode of the Game Club, we're attempting to save our sister in a gruesome world of folklore as we play through Bramble, the Mountain King. This was our short game for the month of February. Bramble, the Mountain King was released on April 27th, 2023 on PS4, PS5, PC, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox X and S. Bramble, the Mountain King was developed by Dim Frost Studio and published by Merge Games. Dim Frost Studio developed just one other game called A Writer and His Daughter, a VR narrative game, before they merged with Maximum Entertainment. Sadly, they have been radio silent since then about any more games, so I don't know if we'll ever get anything else. I'm going to give a quick summary of the story to the game, but before that, I want to give a spoiler warning, and I would recommend playing Bramble before listening to this episode. We play as Ole, a young boy traveling through old Nordic lands in search of his big sister, Lillemor. We switch between day and night as we hunt down a troll that captured Lillemor and is taking her to an unknown kingdom in a remote mountain. With the help of a mysterious stone of light, we traverse through the woods in search of our sister. That's the most basic version of the story, but I'm sure we'll talk more about it later in the episode. But for now, I'm going to throw it over to Tunza, where he's going to talk about the gameplay and mechanics for Bramble, the Mountain King.
Okay, this is kind of a very simple platformer where you kind of just go along a linear path, doing very minimal puzzles using, like, they call it the Spark of Courage. It's a magical light you use to illuminate the area, either to see things, fight off enemies, or, well, keep them at bay, or blind a plant. The bramble. And use it during your boss battles to throw or blind them. Then you kind of scale up and down vines, you cross water, you basically it.
Yeah, it's a.
I'm trying to go through everything you use. I'm like, you mainly just use that and jump, and then the worst run ever. He looks like he is like an 8-year-old boy, so I guess.
Yeah, it's a puzzle horror experience. Horror being light on the type of horror. It's less like jump scare get you, but more environmentally like horror. Does that make sense?
Gross.
Yeah, gross. But yeah, solving puzzles, some minor platforming, very narrative in terms of like what's going on, but interesting for sure. All right, well, we'll move on to art design. Lauren's going to tell us about the art for Bramble the Mountain King.
So, it was made in Unreal Engine due to the visual ambitions, as it had the most potential to what they would refer to as make pretty things. It allows them to make a game without needing to type traditional lines of code like C++. The visuals blend photorealistic elements with fantasy and creepy characters, basically a cozy yet eerie aesthetic. They took inspiration from Unravel when it came to the graphics and style and knew they wanted to do something realistic but with like a dark and grim twist. The characters are heavily inspired by Nordic folklore and stories that the developers were told as children when, they're from Sweden. The trolls were inspired by John Bayer's art, which John Bayer was a Swedish painter and illustrator. He was born in 1882, died in 1918, but he's most known for his illustrations of early editions of like Troll, Anthology of Swedish Folklore and Fairy Tales, so very, very early visuals for that kind of stuff. They use the characters and the lighting to transition the feel of the story from a more lighter, safe feeling to a darker, scary, or like eerie feeling when night hits. Lighting wise, they rely on skylight, directional light, and others for highlights. So during the day, you can see like the light shining through the trees. You'll see the shadows of the leaves from the trees. At night, you can see the moonlight. In the beginning of the game, they're playing with the light that they have, and you can actually see like the reflection of the light in their eyes, which is one of the first things that caught my attention. Was like, this is kind of crazy to see that actual reflection of light. I think the art's just something you really gotta experience because the game like excels in it. It does really well in changing the tone of the game based on day and night cycles.
Yeah, graphically, this game looks very, very good.
It does.
Definitely. Very unique.
Yeah, it pops. Like, as soon as you start playing it and you start getting into, like, because it starts out at night, and when you first get into daytime, you really started to notice, like, how good the art is in this game. And it was back when it was announced and there was a trailer for it. That was part of the reason I wanted to play it. It's just because of how it looked. But overall,
I
the art
remember
design's good.
Yeah, I remember back when, right around the time frame that they announced and showed off that game, and they were showing off other games that they were testing Unreal Engine, how realistic they could make it look. And it was like a big controversy at the time of if games are getting too realistic looking and how dangerous that could be for like your shooters and stuff like that. But I think this was like one of those times they did a really good job with trying to make it realistic, but making it fantasy realism.
Yeah, like the blend between real world and fictional characters.
For
I think
sure.
the environment is like where like realism strides.
Yeah.
Like the
Agreed.
greens are real green, like everything like being as small as you are, that close to the ground, it looks really, really good.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. They did a good job with making like we said, the fantasy characters looking like they could like blend really well with realism. So they look natural, like they belong there. They don't look out of place at all.
I wonder if something like this had like any impact on the like 2D, 3D games that come out now, where you take like a pixel character with a realistic background. It's kind of how this is, in a way. Like just being able to blend like some like realistic backgrounds with like less realistic characters and like the things you actually make for your game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on to music and sound. So Dan, how about you tell us about the sound design and music for Bramble the Mountain King?
The music in this game, it's very I don't know how to explain it, but it's definitely giving like folklore kind of style music, if that makes any sense at all. Like I feel like if you're being told like I guess like a movie with like a folklore kind of fairy tale in it, you're hearing this kind of music in that thing. Very good, very good. Glad to listen to that kind of stuff. There's not really any dialogue, like no talking or anything besides the narrator over things, which it's always just like, oh, ole, they went and did this thing, or I don't remember the other character's name, that little girl that you end up running into. It's like Tufa or something.
Lillamore.
No.
Oh.
No, the other girl.
You're talking about like Tula.
Tula,
the
yeah.
witch.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Wonder she's like the little girl looking one, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't
she's
know.
a witch.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's kind of it. At the very end of the game, I don't. Spoiler alerts for the end of the game. You're fighting the Mountain King, and there's the music playing for that. It's a very popular song, and I've never known what this song was. I've heard it a lot, but it is by Edvard Grieg. And the name of the song is In the Hall of the Mountain King, which I thought was kind of funny.
Perfect.
I feel like it was a very great choice for a song because gosh golly, I love that song. It makes everything more hectic than it really needs to be just because that song is playing. And I love it.
I love that during that, when you get into, is it the second or third phase of that fight, it speeds up. And it gets like really chaotic. Like even though nothing has really changed, it's like super chaotic feeling. Yeah, it's very, very good. Lauren heard it from the other game room, like her game room, when I was playing through that part, and she's like, I know that from something, and it was like nagging at her. So we were in my car, and I was like looking through to see like when we found out what it was.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's in everything. Like that
It's in
thing must
everything.
be like public domain, like just free to use because it's in a lot
Oh,
of
it's
stuff over the
super
years.
super old. Composed in 1875.
Yeah,
It still holds up
it's
today.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
I still
Very,
can't
very
figure
great.
out that song that I told you I know it from. It's
Whoa.
something with Mickey Mouse, I know that, but
Like that song?
Yeah, it's in something, and the one that I found was the Three Musketeers, but I don't know if that's the correct one. Like the Mickey Mouse Three Musketeers, they have it in that.
yeah.
Mm,
I feel like I didn't pay attention enough at that point because I don't recall the song at all.
Oh, you gotta look it up because you definitely'll know it. It's
it's
in
in
literally
like
everything.
everything.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on and open up the floor and just talk about anything that made any sort of impact or just anything we want to talk about. Hip, since you haven't really talked yet, how about you open it up for us?
I thought it was crazy when it took a very dark turn because I did not look into the game at all before we started it. So just randomly getting to a point where guy was cutting off animals' heads and stuff like that. Crazy
Yeah, the butcher.
to experience. Yeah. And then I like messed up once and got cut in half. Like that being my first death in the entire game.
Oh, they're
Besides
so
like
brutal.
falling off of a platform. Yeah.
That part early on when like the troll is like with the lantern is after you, and you're like shimmying across that little like castle opening gate thing, and if he spots you, he grabs you by your head and then he smashes it and then just drops your
Yeah.
body. And I was like, wow, that is gruesome. Like, jeez. Or when you're like I don't know, traversing through blood and guts, and it's like up to your like waist and then your chest, and like you come out and you're just covered like in blood. I'm like, man, they do such a
Oh,
good
yeah.
job.
It was way
Yeah.
more gory than I ever expected.
But
Yeah, it was something.
this game definitely
I loved it.
misleads you like early because you're like, oh, I'm running around, I'm playing hide and seek with the gnomes, it's all beautiful, and then it's like, oh, these gnomes got caught in a bear trap, and then they all get curb stomped by a troll. It's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
watched
me and-
one of mine get stuck in a bear trap, then the other ones go in. And I was like, oh, they're safe. At least only sacrificed one.
I did the same thing.
Yeah, and then they're just like dangling there by their hat.
Yup.
And I'm like, oh, yikes. The most notorious boss and the one they showed off in the trailer is the Nakin one, which is the violinist. That part is pretty insane. As like,
Yeah.
he's dragging his corpse like towards you, like in the mud, and you're like trying to like get through the mud, and you're moving all slow, and he's catching up to you, and you're like, oh shit. And then I know Dan had a blast with the part where he like strums like those like shock waves, and they just like throw your body.
Yup.
Good times. That's a really cool fight because not only is it like interesting and well done, but it looks so good while you're doing it.
Mm.
So you're not even really fighting them, you're just kind of running, aren't you?
In that one, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
What you only fight like a handful of bosses, right?
3 of them?
The butcher, the king,
And the guy
the,
with the
like-
rake.
Yeah, Pesta.
yeah.
Just
Oh, and the boat one. Actually, no, you do fight quite a bit of them.
Yeah.
Because the one on the
Oh, yeah.
boat in the swamp and the girl that you like stab like a gazillion times in the woods.
Oh, God, yeah, that was crazy.
I did not realize. So there's 2 parts. There, I didn't realize I just had to like let it go, and it would let. So I sat there and stabbed them for like probably a good 5 minutes.
Oh, God.
Did you get the
Yeah.
achievement?
yeah, I stabbed him for a
No,
little
there's
bit
an
too.
achievement for it. What?
Yeah, if you
Yeah, there's an
stab-
achievement
Yeah.
for stabbing him 100 times.
Oh my
I
God.
had to have been up there. I was sitting there for a while, just and then in the quarry, there's like a log you have to push down, and I thought you had to just sit there and tap space. So I sat there for probably a minute or two, just spamming space.
That's that first part that pops up after the Nakin when you're like laying in the ground and it tells you to like hold the X button. I thought I was supposed to be tapping it like to get up quickly.
Same.
And I'm like, why isn't this
Same.
working? And then then
Yeah.
it's all it is just holding down the button.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yep.
see,
that was my problem a lot.
see, mine was at that same part whenever you're getting up after the knacking or whatever. I think it's the knacking. Anyways, where she like grabs you while you go down like that waterfall. Then you like
Yeah.
wake up on like the shoreline. But you get up, you press like X or whatever, and then it has you use your stick to move. It wasn't a very clear image of what they wanted me to do with the left stick. So I tried pressing it. I tried like a bunch of things and nothing was working. I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do for this stupid button input.
Yeah, because
So I sat there for a good couple minutes.
for a second there, I thought they wanted you to like press the analog stick down,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was like, this isn't doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice at the end of that when he grabs you and comes off the waterfall, he lands on a rock and it breaks his back? That's how you get away
Yeah.
from him.
Yep.
That's brutal as shit.
Help.
And if you just like look in the background, it's just his corpse laying over this rock, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
I did not notice that, but
No,
I would not put it
yeah.
past the game.
They kind of make you regret your choices on how you deal with it. I mean, you don't have a choice, but you feel a little bit bad.
Yeah, that the one
Hey,
where
Your person feels like regret for the like the Fae you stab.
Well, then you read the book, and it's like lured the whole village to basically die.
that I guess that part, if you don't stab her a bunch, like enough times, she'll get up and stab you,
Oh,
which I did not know until later on. Like after I finished the game, I was looking at it and like I still want to see the cutscene because I never looked it up. But I'm curious if like you're just like, oh, I'm good, and then she just like stands up like, oh, you're dead. So the part with the clock is the most infuriating thing because I was making it more complicated than it needed to be. So that puzzle you do
Same.
like right towards the end. So
yeah.
instead of just putting in the the times from the items in the room and in what order based on the paintings like you're supposed to, I searched that thing for an extra like 10 minutes because I thought I needed to find the other two arms to the clock or hands to the clock. And I was like getting to the point
Same.
where I'm like, I was like, what am I missing? I have to be missing something. Like, there's no way. I'm like, I looked at the shelf, like I scanned it like the whole time. I went from like top to bottom, couldn't find anything extra. And I'm like trying to like tilt the like little jewelry box over to see if I could get the lid to fall off of it somehow. I'm like, can I go back in the closet? And I was like, I was getting so frustrated because I'm like, there has to be other hands to this clock. And then sure enough, it's just one, which I made the puzzle way more difficult than it needed to be. Which is
Yeah,
kinda
I was
frustrating.
kind of in the same boat where I thought I needed another hand because I kept putting in like the code and nothing was happening. And then I re-looked at everything. I was like, I have to be missing something. And I realized the chalice, it's a 6, and I kept putting 4 because I can't read.
I keep putting 4. Why is it not working? Tons, I am curious. When you texted me and you were like, "This game got gross," what part were you on?
I can't remember if that was the butcher where you're going through all the blood. Either that or with the baby stuff. Because that was unexpected too.
Oh, the baby stuff's so dark.
Yeah, it's I mean like
Yup.
I don't remember where I was when I texted you that. I'm assuming probably the butcher because you're going through all the blood and like just it's gross. But then it gets like dark and you're like, ooh, I don't know if I like this anymore.
That part's
I don't wanna
really
deal with
crazy.
babies.
Because you chased that witch down like for a good little time frame. I mean, depending on how fast you go through the puzzles, but like every time you're like pushed away, and then you have to fight that like scarecrow boss. on the boat, and you're like, all right,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
away. And then you catch up with her one more time, and you have to like go around and like unbramble the boat to get over the building. And then by the time you get there, she has already drowned the baby and hung herself. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is so dark.
At least, I felt like I was like, oh man, at least he buried it. That was nice. He's only like an 8-year-old kid.
Let's say then you can also get the achievement for if you have the duck doll, you get an achievement for putting the duck
yeah.
at the
Yeah, it's like called
at
like
the
grave.
grave,
like called proper burial, I think is what it's called.
something like
Maybe.
that.
Yeah, because I picked it up not knowing what it was for, like the duck.
Oh, I just picked it up because I was collecting everything I could find.
Same.
Speaking of, did you guys get all the figurines?
No.
Wooden
No.
figurines? was
I got
missing-
like the first 2 or 3, and then I got the last 2, so I missed all the ones in the middle.
I missed 2 of them, and they were back to back. And one I knew where it was, and just decided I wasn't gonna go look over there. It's the part where you're riding like the little hedgehog like through the water, and there's like the little
Yeah.
like pile of
Yeah.
pebbles. And I was like, oh, there has to be something over there. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna go over there.
The thing I was like, are those swords?
Yeah, it's like on that
They're
little
just
island.
like a bunch of sticks. Yeah.
So, least favorite part of this game, 100% the zombie stuff.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like I
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
it's fine. It's not bad. I just wasn't really into it in terms of like everything else.
Oh, the whole like village thing that was going on there.
Yeah.
Like the village is like the whole story of the village is pretty sad, but like the whole zombie stuff where you're kind of like sneaking around, I'm like, it's all right.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it.
I do really like that boss fight with Pesta though, where you're like in like the black room and like her face pops up and you have to like shoot the right one and then she tries to eat you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That rape was terrifying.
Oh yeah, and that's the only I died from that thing like three times, just because I would like misjudge it, and then she would just rake me, and I'd be like, oh cool, dead.
I
think I
actually
died
think
to-
the bet.
I think I died to that and the and her eating me. I think that's the only 2 that killed me.
Yeah, the eating you thing is crazy because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like why? I'm like, why am I standing on her
Same.
face?
See, I thought I was gonna die on that one because I jumped off her face into the void, but you just land on the ground. It's really weird. But I think the bosses were the best thing of the game. I think everything else leading there was like cool, but then I was like, every boss was like unique and weird.
Yeah, they all felt like pretty fun because like that one's like its own little like dark void, and then when you're fighting the girl with the heart on her back, you have to shoot all like
the
the dead
druid.
bodies off the trees.
Mm-hmm.
I like the
Yeah.
FGs. I think that's what they're supposed to be.
She beat the shit out of me the first like couple times because I didn't know you can like lean directly against the tree. Like you have to like push up because I was just standing slightly off. It would go around the tree and hit me every time.
Oh, I kept dying to her because I was getting greedy, and I was like, oh, I can get 3
yeah.
of those things this time, and then
I could do this in the one run.
yeah, I was like, oh, I'm gonna one cycle her, and that never happened.
Or I misheard her and then I was walk out and I thought it was the tree like spike one. No, it's the one where she like fucking beams you with the just direct kill.
Yeah, but that's a good fight, and then the Mountain King fight's pretty cool. We have to like jump over the sword and avoid his little hammer.
Why is the second
And-
swing back for him so quick? Like
Yeah. I died
I
for
feel like
that
the sword
immediately,
flung
'cause it was
so
wicked.
quick.
That's another one of those boss fights where I died a bunch because I was being greedy, and I'm like, oh, I dodged this. I'm gonna hit him before he even swings the sword back. Nope, he does
Or
that.
I'm going to aim as the pillars are falling, and I'm like, I'm far enough over.
Yeah, and then
You're
they're like,
not.
nope.
You're never done.
But yeah, the boss fights are really, really well done.
I think they're a little clanky for the person, like little Ollie. So I feel like if any, well, I guess it makes the challenge. I was like, man, if he could just run a little better and not look so weird.
If you were a little faster,
If your legs were a little longer, you were probably like 10.
the fight with the little
He's Goku on his own.
the fight with the scarecrow is funny because I was just spinning in circles with my camera.
Yeah, that was
And I'm like, where are you coming up from?
pretty easy. Well, I mean, they're all pretty easy. They're all just figuring out. I think I struggled more on that fucking flower in the village more than anything else because I couldn't get that second spot to drop right.
What?
Like the chimney when you're running across the roof, you gotta like use
wouldn't
the
drop
flower.
right?
Or...
Oh.
No, it was like I would have to do it like 20 times, and then I would die. And then the last time I got it, it glitched out and let me just jump to the next roof. And I was like, all right, fuck it.
Oh, I didn't have any
I
issues.
guess I'm not doing it.
That part at the end where you're like climbing on the statue of the king, I was like, oh, I think I can just skip this, and I went to jump to the roof, and then I fell and died. Because apparently they make you climb it.
That was a lot of those games that made you go its like route. If you didn't, it would like get your frame, like it would like frame kill you.
Be honest, Tunza. How long did it take you to find all the gnomes?
Actually not that bad. The hard one was the one that was like next to the wheelbarrow on like the left hand side. The one that's like barely visible. But other than that, it wasn't that bad. I spent more time trying to corral all those flower things than I think.
Oh, I feel like that was so easy.
Yeah.
You only have to do 4. I tried to do every single one of them. and then it just then when I got them all there, 4 ran in, cutscenes over. The other ones are outside the gate, and I was like, "What the fuck? I wasted all this time."
Okay, now whose fault is that though?
Well, apparently mine in hindsight.
You didn't listen to the instructions.
It say
Or the
4?
thing at like the top of the screen that said
has, like-
0 out of 4.
I know.
Yeah.
But what happens if I would have got them all in?
Yeah, special ending. Game's
Yeah.
over.
Overachiever.
Yeah, I beat the game. I got them all in the pen. I don't even know what we're talking about.
We can't move forward without mentioning our little stone friend, that Lemur.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Hello,
boy.
He's the best, and yeah, he's getting bullied by those like pine cone spear people. I don't know. I don't even.
I
Yeah, I
knew
don't
those
regret
pine
killing
cones
their
were
king.
alive.
They. I mean, you do deserve to be attacked by them. You crushed their king.
Yeah.
Bad after they're being bullies.
You make their king though, don't you? Like, do you not?
Oh no, Dan kicked the one like 30 times though.
I had to. I kept dying and reverting backwards. I couldn't change the future.
That's also an achievement, I guess.
So every time I'd respawn back, I would look at him and kick him again, just to preserve the timeline.
That's one of the achievements is the game is to kick that one out of the cave.
Nice.
You should have got
Good
it.
Did you get the one for sacrificing the gnome or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that one completely by accident. I didn't realize anything was in the cage. I was like, oh, I'm gonna push. When like the thing's
In the
chasing you,
blood
like the blood.
thing.
Uh,
Like, right after the
There's a
butcher-
cage you can push down, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna push it down so I can, stand on it as a platform. Didn't
Were you
realize
on-
there was a gnome in it.
oh, I thought that was like the only way to do that part.
I
No,
didn't.
you can just
Oh.
run.
Yeah, I just ran.
Yeah, I also
Yeah.
sacrificed it.
Yeah, I didn't
It's
also
just like,
realize
oops.
there was something in it.
I don't know. I'm used to most games being like the cage would have opened or something before he got murdered.
Yeah.
Lauren, did you have a favorite part of this game?
I don't know if I really had a favorite part. I enjoyed all of it, truthfully. I don't think there was a favorite part. I think the game did a really good job with its pacing. And me and you had talked about that, where a lot of games try to rely on, like, oh, they do something scary or, intense, and they keep you on the edge where you're like, when's it going to happen again? And then they get you again. This game, like, gives you long enough that you feel comfortable again. You're like, oh, nothing bad's gonna happen for a little while, and then they hit you out of nowhere. So I think the pacing was like perfect.
Yeah, it's like the part where you're leaving the church in the zombie village, and all those little zombies like run over to the one like wall, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, did
Yep.
my game glitch out or something? And then you like walk by it, nothing happens. You go and you look at that grave, and you can kind of like get that little cut scene, and you're kind of just looking around. But like the moment you go to the right, the wall explodes, and they all start sprinting at you, and you're like, "Oh shit!" And you're so slow in comparison, so you're like, "I gotta go." Second time's not as impressive, like, because you kind of know it's coming. But that first time, like, caught me completely off guard. I was like, "Oh shit, I gotta like fucking leave." I'm trying to look at the tombstones and stuff, and I'm like, "No, I gotta fucking go."
Yeah.
The
it does a
slowest
good
walk
job.
away, or run, jog, whatever the fuck you did.
And then you're like,
Yeah.
kind of like, okay, it's calm again once you get through that part. And they're like, you walk on this little beach, and then you start rowing on that boat. And as soon as the camera changes, you're like, something's gonna happen. So they are emphasizing me rowing this boat way too hard.
Yep.
And then
As
Pesta
the
like just appears in the
light,
back.
as the light, like, it kept going completely black and then coming back, I was like, something's happening. There's going to be something pop up. It's just a matter of when. Did not expect somebody there, though.
I loved while you were rowing the boat and Pesto would put like his hand over your like face. You could still row the boat a little bit, so I kind of found that funny, you know, just having this strange person just putting their hands over my face, and I'm still just kind of just rowing like nothing's happening.
I'm gonna get a couple extra feet here.
Yeah.
Did you see Pesto while you were going through the village? Like how he's all creepily like standing in the background?
Yes.
No.
I got to that part and I was like, who the hell is this? Where did they come from in the story?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I did not notice them at all.
I don't remember what part it is, but it's like when you're moving between one building to another, and it's like side-scrolly like camera. Yep. And if you just glance in the distance, Pesta's just standing there with their rake, and I'm like, who the fuck is that?
I did the same. I was actually on edge after that because I was like, when are they gonna pop out? When is that gonna happen? I seen them. I knew they were there, and then it doesn't come.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Like, I think this game, like Lauren said, the pacing's really good because it like lulls you into a sense of like, all right, I'm good now, and then it kind of just like hits you out of nowhere. Like when you fight, or well, not fight, but when you get lured by like Nakin the first time, you're taking that baby gnome back to his dad. And it's like the most calm, peaceful thing, and then you're like, oh, they're reunited, and then all of a sudden you can't control your body and you fall in a hole.
Yeah, fall down the thing.
Yeah, and then you're like going through like the dark, and they're like, oh, you gotta light your way, and then the part where you jump between the two cages, the second cage, whatever creature is in there freaks out when you're like climbing on it. And I didn't notice it the first time, like when I was watching Dan's first encounter, that was even happening. And then I'm going through that part myself, and I'm like, what is this? I'm like, this thing is freaking out. It's like rattling the cage, and you're like, okay, I better get off because I don't know what's gonna happen right now.
Well, and then you still hear it screaming, and then somebody yanks it up.
Yeah. Scary.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone yanked
paid
it
attention to detail. Yeah, you hear it like go up.
Oh.
Or drop or something. I don't know. You hear the chains go.
I think I'm good. You guys have anything else before we close out the episode?
No, I think we're good.
So not that I can think of.
All right, so let's move into time to completion. We'll just go around and see how long it took us to complete the game, starting with Tanza. How long did it take you to finish this?
Exactly 4 hours.
I was 4.5 exactly. Dan?
4.3.
Ooh. Hip?
So mine's longer because I not once but twice left to go and get food and stuff when I was playing it, but mine's 6.9.
Nice.
Which I think's pretty nice.
Nice. And Lauren, what super long time did you have?
I'm pretty sure it said 7.5, and we left, went to pick up food and ate some dinner and all those things while I just left my game paused. And then when I finally came back to it, I finished the game. So gave me a couple hours extra on there.
All right, show it some love. All right. Each episode, we go around and we find out if we would recommend the game we're playing and why or why not. So, starting with Lauren, would you recommend this game and why or why not?
Definitely a recommend from me. The art is great. The pacing, like I said, is spot on. You never feel like anything's like repeating itself, which is nice. There's a lot of games out there that feel like they just kind of hit you with the same like gameplay or story or something over and over. This one doesn't. And big thing that I will say that I really like that would give me a recommendation is the checkpoints are very generous. Sometimes maybe even too generous if you like games that are hard. I don't, so I think that other games that are difficult should be more generous with checkpoints, and at least in an easy mode. If you get so far into the boss battle, there should be a checkpoint there. If you get so far into a really long stretch of a level, there should be an extra checkpoint there. So those are big in my book. So a really big recommendation.
Hip.
I recommend it. I had a lot of fun actually with it. Not really anything crazy for it, you know.
Okay. Dan.
Yeah, I'd recommend it. I think there's some things that everyone can kind of get out of playing it, even if you've already listened to this like entire podcast and us talking about some of the things that happen, it's still nice to kind of play it and kind of experience it for yourself.
Yeah, it's a good time. Tenza?
Yeah, also recommend it. The boss battles are really, like, I don't know, I like them a lot. They look really good. I would say just, if you jive with the warning in the very beginning, it tells you, like, hey, it's graphic and stuff. If you're okay with that, then play it. I think it's good.
Yeah, I would also recommend it, but I do agree with Tenza. There's probably some things in this that might be triggering, a little fucked up at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good experience. I love the way it looks. It's easy to pick up and play. It's a short experience. I think the average playtime is 4.5 hours, but you could probably get it done way faster if you don't die a bunch of times or know what you're doing. Overall, I think it's a good experience. I enjoy that it's horror in the aspect of environment over jump scares. Like, I don't particularly love when horror relies too much on jump scares. I like that this makes you feel uneasy with its environment over just being like, oh, here's this thing that jumps out at you. Here's this thing that jumps out at you. I think some of the best horror games are designed that way. And there's nothing wrong with throwing a jump scare in here or there. But if you rely on it too much, I think that makes a horror game boring. And I would agree with the bosses. I think they're a lot of fun. Those are the parts that stick in my brain after playing the game more than anything else. But yeah, I'd recommend it. I think we got to recommend from everybody this episode. So that's good. And we can move on into reviews. So every episode, we kind of dive into review pages, usually Steam, and we find some reviews that are either good, bad, or funny. So, Hip, do you have anything for us this episode?
Oh, God. There's a lot of very well-written, long-winded reviews for the game. A lot of people love it, in all honesty, from like everything I've seen. Some of the review, like, there's not really, I don't know. A lot of people
No one complaining about the price.
No. It's a lot of people just saying how like well it does like the folklore and like horror-esque genre. It reminds them a lot of like Limbo and Little Nightmares, stuff like that. This person said everything in this game saw me as a snack. I'm flattered. Yeah, therapy's not fixing these kids.
I like this review. This is like the game inside, but it's outside instead.
I did not see that one, but that's good.
I will just mention slightly, it is nice that they do this version of folklore, and I know Lauren mentioned this. I don't know if she mentioned it when she was talking about art, but they went against Viking folklore and did more of like other ones.
Yeah, it's like
It's
Scandinavian.
It's a lot of it's a lot of like Norwegian folklore stuff like that.
Yeah, which they could have easily done like a Viking like theme, but
Well,
I
yeah,
prefer.
the one thing I've seen them talk about in an interview is the stories for like Nordic folklore actually vary a little bit based on what parts of like Sweden and stuff you're in, which was interesting. So what they did is they took all the different ones, took the key elements of it, and made their own like spin to it. So that way, everyone that knew the stories as a kid, even if yours was slightly different, you would recognize it and also give enough of a story for people that didn't grow up with it.
Yeah, I'm happy I didn't.
Yeah, could you imagine telling your kids these stories?
That'd
Well,
be
it,
crazy.
it would keep the kids out of the forest and out of the lake.
Yeah,
You know, I guess that's
locked
fair.
away. Let's go outside. No, I'm not going anywhere.
It's scary out there.
But this one review I kind of agree with heavily. It's a positive review, but it's they said it's a slow start, but it's very worth it in the end. Which I do agree. I feel like it's really slow up until you get to the point where like everything starts getting a lot more dark.
Yeah, I think that it is slower, but I like that it like lulls you into that like, oh, this isn't gonna be so bad kind of thing. Like,
Yeah, I think even if you
sense of
knew it was going to
security.
get scary, you would be like, "Oh, when's it get scary?"
yeah, and then it kind of just hits you. It like shows you a little bit, and then it takes you back out of it, and then it shows you a little bit, and then it just stays fucked up for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the that part where like you walk by all those like witches that they had killed and like pinned to crosses and stuff, and your character just vomits like after you walk through that section.
Well, I thought he like developed the plague. I thought that's what was gonna like murk him or something because
He
he's like
dies right
coughing a
there.
lot and like at one point before he put on that little uniform for me, he was like covered in like blood and gross and it looked like he had like mold or something on him. And then he just was like, "No, I'm good." Like he put on the uniform clean. He like showered,
Yeah,
brushed
he's
his
like, oh, I wiped
teeth.
it all off, comb my hair. All right, well, I think that about does it. It's overall positive reviews. We all had a positive outtake to it,
Experience.
and yeah, I think that closes out Bramble. But before we leave, Tunza, give me your best witch impression and give me some plugs.
Thanks for watching this episode of Nerd Like Game Club. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We post first encounters, breakdowns, and long plays. So if you want to join the club, you can find our socials in the description.
On to the final credits. At the end of each episode, we just take a couple minutes to talk about anything we're playing or any gaming news we want to talk about. So, is there anything at all you guys want to talk about?
Same old here, you know? Playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. Slowly getting up there in the ranks. I did start playing the people that made Binding of Isaac's new game, Mugenics.
I've seen
Eugenic.
people playing that, but I still haven't actually looked into it.
I streamed it the other day, but it's you're just a bunch of cats basically. You have cats that you mutate and use them to do like dungeon runs basically with like different classes. Like you can have a tank, a thief, a wizard, ranger, cleric.
Is it like a
Fucking
roguelike?
wizard.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, it's really cool. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, I've heard it's good, but on the other side, I see people online, you know, as they do, complaining about the people that are in that game are not very great people. And so people are
Well,
like,
I've never
yeah,
heard-
don't play this game.
That's kind of what the
I
guy
didn't
that
hear
made
that,
it
so-
said. Yeah, that's what the guy that made it, he's like, "Oh, they're not supposed to be good people."
Well, yeah.
Oh, like the characters.
Yeah,
you
I was
mean.
so confused by that at first because I thought you meant like.
I thought you meant like the people that made it.
Well, from my understanding, it's like the voice actors, but I don't know.
Oh no, I have no idea about that.
Dude, they got some banging
I
songs. They got some banging songs in it though.
Maybe I have to look more into that one. I have been playing Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. I'm about 10 hours in, and I feel like I've done nothing. And, and it's really good. I'm enjoying like the world looks really cool. I like how everything's like a square. Like no matter where you are, everything's like a squared tile, which is kind of neat. I still only have the ability to use one like class, and I'm 10 hours in. I'm like, when is this happening? Like, when am I gonna be able to switch classes? Let me switch.
How's that one work? Like, it's not like Final Fantasy where it's jobs, right?
They're vocations, so like, like right now my main character, the default one is a fisherman class, and it gives you like skills or whatever to that class. I'm not really sure how it works. Like I just know that you can switch at some point because there's like apparently there's a way to collect like multiples, like and you can change classes, but I don't know if they're specific to certain characters or if any character can learn any class. I'm not sure how that works. Yeah, it's pretty good so far. I'm having a good time playing through it.
I don't know. I finished Resident Evil. I was streaming it the last time I think we recorded. We're about to stream it. I don't remember.
A
That was
couple
good.
weeks ago, so I don't know if you had started it yet or had just started it.
I think I might have just started it. But it was good. I never really played those before, and I killed everybody. I
Yay!
didn't know that was possible.
Good.
Yep.
Uh,
So I watched like an actual proper ending, and then I think I'm gonna skip 0 and go to 2. Yay!
Or you can do 0.
And I'll do it sometime.
No,
Why
you
not do
won't.
0?
Because it's like the first one. I'd like to switch it up.
I've been
Or maybe I feel different after finishing Alice Madness Returns.
yeah, maybe it'll be different then. I've been watching Dan be ass at a randomizer.
I'm so upset with myself
Yeah.
for resetting my computer and losing that first randomizer I started. Because now this randomizer, I can't do anything. I don't know what I'm missing. I'm confused.
Well, you need to stream it
funny, I
again, and
put
I'll
your
help you through it.
I put his
okay,
stream on. It was like late, and he was just like, I was like, man, I was gonna type, but I was trying to go to bed, and I was like, everything's randomized. You can't figure out where like things are, and I'm like, oh, this is awful.
Yeah. And I was thinking about it. I should have done like a randomizer like that whenever me and Hip did one together instead of me doing Paper Mario. Because this one I have so much to do, and then in Paper Mario I was always just kind of like, oh, I'd do this one thing and then have to wait for like an item or something. But that one, it's like I always have something to do because I'm lost all the time.
Yeah, anytime we would like pop those streams on or whatever, it's like, oh, Hip's over here like fighting 10 bosses with like a piece of wood, and Dan's like la 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 la, just standing here. Like,
Yeah, just be standing around riding the train.
yeah, Hip's like doing all the heavy lifting, and then he'd be like, "Oh, I got you this item, Dan," and you're like, "All right, cool." And then you would do one thing and take you like 10 minutes, and then you're like, la 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 la, waiting around.
Yeah.
Like I feel so bad. He's carrying
Yeah,
this
yeah.
randomizer on his back.
Dude, I think the worst part was my sister Frida fight in that, which I needed to do to get to the other DLC to get Dan's progressive boots so he could break stuff to get my one thing I needed to get to the last area to go and get like the rest of my stuff. I had to fight the final boss of the 2 hardest bosses in the game back to back without healing.
Yeah.
And I had
yeah.
a shield. I think if you went to that stream, I put on Linkin Park and I did not say a word for probably 25 minutes straight. The fight was like 30 minutes.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I know what needs to be done. I need Linkin Park," and then it's just a dead silent after that, and I'm just.
It's funny because I think I had that open, and he was just jamming, and I was just jamming, like playing something.
Yeah.
Just watching.
That's like an athlete.
Oh my
like,
god, I have it saved still.
You should post it because that's hilarious. But it's like an athlete that has to like lock in before a game. It's like they have the headphones on and like don't talk to anyone. There's dialed in. That's how you were.
So
Yeah.
looking back at this, I had my weapons were a great shield, and it was the Crystal Sage's rapier. It did 30 damage a hit to him.
Hey,
And this is the end game, the final boss, the final DLC. So he has like 5,000 health.
Well, I guess you could always say that you're not complete and utter ass at Souls games, because that would have been such a pain in the ass to just get through. That would have taken me like 18 hours of standing around.
So we had there's 3 bosses I could have done. One was the only boss I never beat in that game because it was an optional boss, and he's just a dragon. He's hard as hell. I had to do him or the final boss of the first DLC, or the final boss of the third DLC with the like hard secret boss from the base game. So every boss I had to do was just the hardest bosses in the game.
And Dan's over there like, I love life.
Yeah, looking at
I
it,
love riding little Yoshi around.
The one stream, the last hour and a half of it was literally just me running in between those 3 bosses trying to beat them.
But you know what that means? I sat there for a good hour and a half with nothing to do, just sitting there.
You know what that means? Excalibur!
Next time? Oh, I was gonna say next time I do Ocarina of Time, and I randomize everything, even the blades of grass.
Hell yeah!
What do they turn into?
Oh, I don't know. Items.
Oh,
rupees.
You know what's so good about this?
Yeah,
crazy.
you can cut grass
you can
and
do
like
that.
your like boot, like your bow.
Oh
or
wait,
something.
you're talking about the blade. I was thinking of just the grass you walk on. By the way, like
Yeah.
a million things. I was like, what? How
Every
is this
pixel.
possible? What sort of
Every
technology
pixel.
is this? No, that makes sense. That'd be fun.
We're gonna close out the episode. This has been Bramble. Let us know if you've played this game, what you thought of this game, or if you plan on playing this game. We'll be back soon with our main episode for February. And let's have Lauren sing us out the Excalibur song.
Excalibur, Excalibur. I'm about to put it in our chat. Hold on.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.